Please,
I think we're in losers bracket. So that's top 3, 2 of top 3 decided. And we're going to be fighting through losers bracket all the way in the top 4, I believe. Zero and Cake and Hyson and Daiku are in the middle of something. What do we have? So this is Zero and Cake.
Yes. This is in losers bracket.
Okay. Good. So, opening up here on Twilight Grove, the first time that we've seen this map, actually. A little interesting. I think it's one of the few maps that have a static platforms and things off the side of the main stage that are always there and not moving. Also, the island on the right isn't a platform. It's terrain. So you can use that for combos.
Yes.
We see Cake off stage already. On the Cassidy, I want to highlight that. He is on Cassidy. Are we used to seeing Cake on Cassidy?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm trying to think if we're used to seeing.
He's queen. He's
Cake
the 2-speed Queen 9.
Period. Yeah. I don't think I'm really used to seeing Cake on Hammer.
And a Tori.
Yeah.
That's it. So this is really cool. I like being able to see this. And Recovery comes out, and he's doing a lot of work on Zero here. Zero on Mordex. Getting hit by that neutral sig. The lasso coming out, wrapping him up, and sending him flying off. It's kind of like a command grab in a way, because obviously if the...
I don't know what that is.
What? Okay, so if the lasso doesn't grab his opponent, the rest of the move doesn't finish.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I like to refer to. They're not really grabs. They're like signatures. But they do grab your opponent. It grabs you out of things.
Well, no, you do actually have some moves that are grabs where like you only grab one person, and those are considered grabs in Brawlhalla.
I don't think Cassie's neutral sig hits more than one person.
No, it's like Rax, Lance, and Sig. Even if 2 people are stacked, you will only hit 1 person.
Yeah. So in a way, it's like that. Weapon toss goes forward, and Cake tries to hit that sidelight. Zero now on the island waiting for
Cake, not like this.
Cake,
not like this. No!
You deserve that.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you saw him shift it back and forth and be like, okay. Zero probably breathing a sigh of relief. And kudos to Zero for being able to see the precarious position and go, I know exactly how to punish this.
Yeah.
Runs off stage, dive kicks. Because he did need to put the finishing blow in to take advantage of that blunder. Cake, however, still in a decent amount of lead, making Zero dance around the island and off the bottom of the stage. Not putting out anything that could get him punished. Sarah comes out, and you have to be careful about that because even though the island and main stage are 2 different pieces of land, the wall slip timer is still the same if you jump between.
Oh!
Yes.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, so that's why Cake definitely didn't want to throw anything off because he got 2 exclamation points by the end of that. You can't just jump between them forever.
Yeah.
So
I never thought of that.
Yeah. And Zero clearly is taking a huge advantage of these 2 places, but Cake is playing around that very well. High percent could go for a stomp Sair or scoop or
stomp Insig.
There's a lot of things that you could do with Hammer. There's a lot of things that you could do on arms. That's not one of them. Zero trying to get him off stage and get that early KO. But he's playing very well on the side of the stage. He's been hugging left and right. And what's cool about this strategy, particularly with Twilight Grove, is that because you have the island and the platform that extend past the stage, you have options to recover and hit your opponent in ways that you don't do on any other map. And we see him crawl back into this game and almost take a lead with this method of play. And Cake isn't really sure what to do anymore.
Oh, nice pickup.
Good pickup as he tries to go back to the stage. A little bit more of that shifting left and right.
That's really weird.
He's probably, especially when you're like charging the weapon toss. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that.
That's goofy.
The last stock here for Zero evens it up very quickly. And this is looking pretty good because Zero he has been on the back foot this entire time. But Cake has not been adapting well to how Zero has been playing around being in that position. And it's looking like with this side string, going for that down air was putting a lot of damage onto Zero. Excellent falling Sair. Okay. Little neutral light jump to Sair, doesn't connect. Weapons are being denied. Oh, the weapon toss in a neutral sig to interrupt Zero out of whatever he was doing unarmed.
Continuing his string between weapons. It started with the guns and finished with the hammer. Another insig. That 45-degree angle upward is such a solid zone to cover with that signature.
And the side sig hitting him with that little whirl.
Oh, you got to be careful on the edge.
Throwing out everything that the hammer has to offer except for the best signature in the game. Down air comes out, and Zero not going to be able to get it back.
That would have bonked him on the head. Even if it didn't fall there, he would have died.
Excellent recovery from Cake from what was losing that stock the way that he did earlier on, and we're probably going to see that. Maybe. And I think most of the stocks we're going to see are coming over from Cake. Yeah, that's true. I like this little recovery here, catches Zero, and Zero was reaching for the weapon. That was an excellent recovery because he had to wait out the entire recovery. And guns recovery is multi-hit, so it'll catch you in the loading of the guns and carry you upwards. You have to be careful about how you use it because you can drop it if you drift too hard in certain directions. But Cake, totally aware of what he needed to be able to do to get that KO. Zero bans out these maps, leaves Twilight Grove open very, very clearly because of how comfortable it seemed that he was maneuvering around that map. But Cake seems like, you know what, I'm going to take you to a place where you looked like you were comfortable and still beat the snot out of you. So game number 2 is coming up here, and Cake is looking primed to get into that top 5 position.
Now, something that I do want to point out from last game, it was that neutral signature on Hammer that we saw in the replay that sent Zero up and to the right. I love that Cake used the neutral signature there because if he did a jump side air to attack his aerial opponent, that would have bounced Zero off of that vertical side wall on the island and wouldn't have led to the kill. He would have required a follow-up off of that. If he would have gone for a side sig, it wouldn't have killed because Zero was airborne. So by utilizing that neutral signature, setting up at that 45-degree angle, that led to the kill. And Cake is looking a little bit rough starting off here. Nice string.
Oh, the stop neutral sig to be able to punish that sig coming out from Zero.
And he's immediately in this.
He's got to be careful about Cassidy's signatures because she, unless it's neutral sig, she travels crazy far on the Hammer. Regardless if it's side sig or down sig, it still moves a decent enough distance where you have to be careful with that spacing. Cider hits him in the stage, lets him, or disarms him, and now he has to come back. Cake doesn't go for a ground pound or a down air, picks up the weapon. No, Zero snatches it from underneath and hits it with a sidelight. Both players now very deep into the red.
Oh.
Sidelight does it on its own.
Good
Zero
pressure.
takes the lead here in game number 2.
Yep. Oh, there's the neutral light just spiking him off of that 45-degree angle.
Yeah, like he went, he traveled. Another neutral light will do it.
Both players going dead even right now at this point. What is Cake going to stick with? Is it going to be the Hammer or is it going to be the gun? It looks like it's going to be those blasters. Nope, back to the Hammer.
And he's been having a lot of success with the Hammer here. Lots of neutral sigs being found. He hasn't been finding too many stop combos. It's kind of just been hard spacing coming out from Cake, but it's been working out. Nares and Sares are coming out silently. There's the stop, 2 stomps in the neutral sig. And he's putting himself in a position where, like, if he doesn't catch Zero on the ground, he's most likely going to be able to get the neutral sig afterwards because Zero's not dodging above Cake or jumping above Cake. He's jumping in front of him. And there's another neutral sig that catches Zero as he's just trying to land directly in front of his opponent. Not working out, but a nice gravity cancel downlight combo coming out. Recovery does not connect, but a nice spot dodge neutral light in a Sare. Zero gets slammed in the face, expecting Cake to go low. He was trying to get that finisher with another Sare, perhaps. But this match is looking very even. Oh! Twilight Grove Island saving Cake there. Goes for that down air. Zero does not go that deep, but the ground pound just hits. Cake not doing what a lot of newer players arguably would do, and that's falling off the stage right away. And Zero going, I know what you're going to go for this time, and just ground pounds him on the wall. Cake getting promptly punished for that option.
He covers both options there because that scythe ground pound has the hitbox right below it, but it also has sort of a shallow cone right in front of it. So if you're going to stay on the wall, he covered that area. Right. If you're going to dip down right below him to try to get deeper into that push-off column, he covered that as well. There was no way Cake was going to be able to travel far enough off of the wall to get behind Zero.
Sidelight comes out, nice little kick onto Cake to add more damage, and Zero jumping up with that down air sends him off stage with the recovery. You might be able to get a 2-stock here on the Cake, and that ground pound looks like it does it.
Oh my gosh, the edge guard pressure!
So I really, really love how much maps are coming into play today, because when I saw Twilight Grove left open and Cake selecting it, I went, why on earth would you do that when you saw how well Zero was playing you in game number 1? Yes, you managed to make it out, but he was coming back strong, and that looked like it was Zero's home turf. I'm very surprised that Cake went back to that map because Zero went from barely losing a game to 2-stocking him, and I'm hoping that the map that we're about to see, as I heard something selected, is different than what we were just playing on. But if we go back to Twilight Grove, it was going to be Zero's game. Small Enigma, very different. These platforms don't go off the side of the stage. There's not nearly as much as Zero can do off stage as he did in games number 1 and 2. Game 3 is going to look very different, and I'm just wondering whether or not, maybe it wasn't the map, maybe it was the matchup, but I felt like Zero played on Twilight Grove better than I've seen most players play. But oh man, he is rising high there with those gauntlet sidelights and recoveries.
With those top platforms coming into play, I'm wondering who is going to spend the time on the platform. If Cake wants to stay totally grounded and maybe use those neutral signatures to try to pick up off of the platform, or if Zero's edgeguard game is really just going to be the final nail in Cake's coffin in this best of 5.
So now putting Cake off the side of the stage, trying to rise with those nairs. Recovery comes out, neutral sig does not hit, and the recovery from Zero comes out as well. Nice little down air. Jumping Sares from Cake will put Zero further into the orange, but Cake is finding himself very damaged, and that D-Light recovery will do it. Zero is all over Cake.
Yeah, it's looking like Zero is just the stronger player so far today in this Winter Championship matchup.
And now Cake picking up the blasters, trying to follow the down air, and we got to highlight how significant. I mean, all tournament matches are significant, but this is a loser's bracket run. So the person that's out here is out at
Yeah,
7.
the stakes are very high at this point.
Zero trying to find these nairs to catch Cake and toss them in the desired direction. Gravity cancel neutral light, actually.
And it's looking like Cake is the one spending some serious time
Yeah, he doesn't want to touch the
up
ground.
on those soft
He's scared.
platforms.
Oh, the recovery comes out. Will the ground pound happen again? It
Oh
does.
my
Cake is
gosh!
dead. Oh, the recovery from the guns hitting Zero, not spacing that ground pound just right, and ends up getting hit midway. The blasters being unique as a weapon, not unique, but like blasters and bow both have the I don't want to say disjointed, but like you can't clash with those hitboxes because they're shots. They're not the actual weapon itself. Taking advantage of the fact that Zero was going for an unarmed ground pound instead of a weapon ground pound. If he had the scythe, maybe it would have been different, but Zero does not get that early 2-stock lead, and Cake starts crawling his way back in as he gets the downer. Will he go off stage again? Weapon toss comes out. Sair forces Zero to dodge to the stage. No downer or ground pound, and Cake allows Zero to come back to the stage. Fully charged sights are coming out, does not get punished. Sidelights are being hit though, and Zero has yet to find any damage here. Cake really finding his stride here after just barely being able to escape death on that second stock. No recovery coming out, and Cake is bringing Zero closer to the red. Recovery's not going to KO just yet.
And I think it's incredibly
that'll do
interesting
it.
how much time Cake is continuing to spend on those soft platforms. It's not just, oh, I want to wait until I land on the ground in this moment. He was spending so much time on those, often going from the main stage, retreating onto those soft platforms, going from the left one to the middle one to the right one.
Now Cake up the side of the stage. Really
Zero's just not
biding
having
his
it.
time. Yeah, no, he knows. Wall slip will occur, and the longer that you're on that stage, the more likely it will be until inevitably that you fall to your death. Zero now tossing the weapon aside, one fall onto the gauntlets. Nice little recovery into nair down air coming out from Zero, taking advantage of Small Enigma's platform positioning to really put the hurt on. Gravity cancel, delayed the gravity cancel a little bit for the sidelight to try to catch Cake. Down stick doesn't hit, but Zero's looking primed to be able to take game number 3 here. Cake gets it by the nair, no recovery follow-up, but these gauntlets are just all over him.
Cake is struggling to find any kill potential at this point, even though he has Hammer, which has multiple kill options.
Oh, recovery
he has the signature kit, he has Stomp Side Air, he has Nair that could kill off the top, he has edge guard situations where ground pound will kill.
Okay.
It's a little bit interesting that he went for the recovery instead of the ground pound. I don't know if it's because his downlight kind of slid him off the edge just a little bit, so he ended up shifting down right as he peeked over that edge. I don't think if he went for the ground pound, it would have hit there because he would have been just a little bit too low. So the recovery was the best option there.
He's trying to find these down sticks. Any direction that he sends him with the down stick right now will kill. He'll probably go for the upwards direction, those active frames. But Cake is trying to find something. Ooh, a nice air. Sends Cake flying. Zero doesn't want to risk any edge guard opportunities because you have to. It's good respect to the hammer. Hammer recovery being the only recovery in the game that when it grabs you, it sends you. It's a vertical.
Old switcheroo.
Yeah, vertical switcheroo. There's a proper word for it. But,
Yeah, it's the old switcheroo.
the old switcheroo.
That's what they say in science.
Cake just got well. He's dead.
Oh, no. Okay.
No switcheroo there. Definitely just got hit by falling boxing gloves and it hit him in the head. He was like, ow, that really hurts. And then he died. And game number 3 goes over to Zero.